and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing here a deck profile that focuses on the fighting types. So this is going to be a great return, I guess, to utilizing Lucario V again. This was definitely a very fun card to use. Unfortunately, there is no VMAX version, so we're just going to have to work with the V version here, but it is an awesome Pokemon with 210 HP. I think that's quite decent anyway, and with VMAXs giving that vulnerability of potentially losing 3 prize cards, to be honest, Lucario V here being 2 prize cards, it's not really that bad of a risk, and given that you could potentially deal 180, not bad at all. Even the Aura Spear attack is actually quite a decent attack, to be honest. However, there is also a few twists and turns in this particular deck, so do stay tuned for that. But before we get started, I would like to remind you guys to consider subscribing, as this will be a great way to help the channel progress a lot further down the line. And of course, you guys will be notified for any future videos similar to this. But with that being said, let's begin. So starting off here, we're playing 2 copies of the Lucario V. As I said, both attacks are actually very decent, the first one being only 1 energy as a requirement, so as a result, why not actually play 2 copies? Honestly, this could act more so as a secondary attacker rather than a primary attacker, so with that being said, there's really no harm. Next up, I'm playing over here the Tyranitar line. We're playing 2 of each this time. I believe this to be a really nice engine to go with. Some people might not play the Pupitar because you might just go for your rare candies, but keep in mind that Pupitar can immediately evolve using its own attack. So you start off with your basic Larvitar, attach your energy, on your following turn you attach or you evolve into your Pupitar and attach another energy, use its attack, and you could pretty much evolve directly into your Tyranitar. That's a pretty win-win situation. However, it is understandable if you wanted to cut out the Pupitar as well. But with that being said, Tyranitar is also the other attacker, being a whopping 250 damage, and not to mention, one of them can require a twin energy to just speed up the process of energy attachment. Of course, for supporting Pokemon, we're going to be playing here the Crobat V and Eldegoss V. Both are really amazing cards, absolutely helpful for this particular deck. I'm only playing 1 copy of each because you only need 1 copy of each. Crobat, you could arguably play 2 copies of it, but what are you going to do with the extra one you draw into your hand? I want this deck to be as efficient as possible, so I don't want to draw into any duplicates, or if I do draw into any duplicates, I want to be able to use them as well as, I guess, like, make the most out of it. And in this particular case, drawing into 2 copies of Crobat V or searching out it really doesn't help out the deck. And finally, we're going to be playing here 2 copies of Snorlax. Great card, pretty much just starts you off here with Gourmandize, allowing you to constantly get more cards from your deck during the end of your turn while you're actually building up your energy for your other Pokemon. It's fantastic, it's pretty much a win-win situation. Next up, for some searching, we have 4 Quick Balls here, definitely really crucial for the deck given how many basic Pokemon we actually have, especially the ones that allow you to start yourselves off, as well as the supporting ones. But we are also going to be playing here 2 Evolution Incense, just because we want to speed up the process of trying to get either Pupitar or Tyranitar from our deck to our hand, and Quick Ball doesn't do that job. Great Ball is also an extension of that, but giving you enough versatility to also add your basics, so it's a great way to deck thin, great way to also just go through your deck as quickly as possible. Next up, for a bit of switching power, sometimes you want to go into your Snorlax into your Tyranitar, or maybe your Tyranitar into your Lucario. It really doesn't matter, but either way you want to be able to switch out Pokemon. So 2 Air Balloons, just because we have some Pokemon that requires more than 2 retreat costs, so in that particular case we'd be using the switches. That's why I'm playing 4 copies. It's just a bit more versatile. Wait, that's not even a word. Versatile is the word, and flexible as well, but Switch definitely has those capabilities as opposed to the Air Balloon. Next up, we're playing 2 copies here of the Rare Candy. I believe Rare Candy is definitely fantastic, of course, to accelerate your evolution lines into your Tyranitar. But we also have here the 4 copies of Turbo Patch, absolutely amazing, allowing you to pretty much just recycle your energy. If your Pokemon get knocked out, no big deal, we just reattach them with Turbo Patch. And I think that definitely does work out really well for this deck. Next up, we're playing here 4 copies of Fan of Waves and 2 copies of Crushing Hammer. I wanted to play more copies of Fan of Waves because it was more so a guarantee you don't have to flip a coin. However, playing 2 Crushing Hammers is still great because you could at least also slow them down by getting rid of their basic energy as long as you win the coin flip. And that goes hand in hand with the Turbo Patch as well. So just make sure you go out and pick your 4-leaf clovers, and that way you'll have enough luck to actually win your games. Or at least in this case, your coin flips. For some singular support here to wrap up the item lines, we have here Cape of Toughness to boost up our Pokemon, Ordinary Rod to recycle our resources, and of course Tool Scrapper, allowing you to get rid of those pesky tools that the opponent might be using. Now as for supporters, I wanted to play Leon just to get that extra boost, just to guarantee that I would knock out the opponent's Pokemon. And with the Tyranitar dealing 250, the addition of the Leon dealing an extra 30 will guarantee you knock out the ADP. Of course, by then ADP would probably be rotated out, but even so, it helps out taking out the strongest Pokemon out there. And of course, since we're playing mostly single prizes, or at least some single prizes in the deck, Bruno also applies really well because our Pokemon is easily knocked out as well. Of course, we can't forget about our other staples, 2 copies here of Boss's Orders and 2 copies of Marnie. Both are absolutely amazing, great ways more so as a means to disrupt the opponent, and I think that's becoming quite a really good thing to actually do because disrupting the opponent can really screw up a lot. We no longer have the opponent playing GXs, at least after rotation, and so you're going to be seeing a lot of decks out there that requires lots of setup now, either going into their VMAXs or either going into their stage 2s. That's what I see commonly in a lot of decks these days, so because of that, having cards that can disrupt the opponent is definitely fantastic, especially when you can actually manipulate whatever card goes into the active zone with your boss's orders. You can knock out whatever VMAX you want to get those 3 prizes, or you could choose potentially one of the opponent's weakest single prizes and knock that out first to gain that early advantage. And of course, we're playing here the 4 copies of Professor's Research. We can't forget about her, absolutely amazing. I'm playing here 2 copies of the Twin Energy for our 2 Tyranitar, only applies for them of course, but Capture Energy is also fantastic just to get the basic Pokemon from our deck to the board without having the need of actually searching it. And finally, we're going to end here with the 5 basic energy. You could switch these out for the fighting energy as well, the special fighting energy, and that could definitely be a fantastic choice for this deck. But with that being said, that's up to you on which type of fighting energy you actually want to play. However, that pretty much wraps it up for today's video, so I do hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely let me know how it actually works out for you. Otherwise, let me know your ideas as well as to what kind of decks you want to see out there. But with that being said, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time.